Hi guys, Mama Starfox here. Today, like I said before, I'm going to talk about my 2 pregnancies. This first vlog is going to be about my pregnancy with my son. So I have to take off my glasses because they keep falling down. There. Yeah, so I got pregnant with my son in 2016. I would have conceived him around December. I didn't find out till March, I believe it was. And I was both very excited but also very terrified because of my miscarriage happening 2 years before and thinking that it was going to happen again. So in my anxiety and trauma-induced panic, I pretty much avoided everything. Like, I wasn't on my pills at that time. I stopped taking them for a while because my periods were getting really heavy. And I avoided all kinds of fish. I hardly had anything. I think I wouldn't even have tuna sandwiches and stuff. And I avoided everything but the basic cheeses like mozzarella, cheddar, and marble, and I hardly went to, like, near my cat, and I was terrified, not just of the litter, but of him in general. And if anybody was sick, I was so scared of getting sick, and I was constantly bugging my boyfriend to look up all these different ingredients and foods when we went out to eat. We hardly went out to eat because I annoyed him so much. And I was so scared to, like, put too much work and, like, carrying too heavy things, or, like, I would not have any caffeine, like, of any sort, not even, like, hot chocolate. I was so scared to have too much caffeine in chocolate as well, and obviously I avoided the usual things like alcohol and all that stuff, and there's other things. I craved spicy food with him a lot, and so I ate a lot of spicy foods. And when I looked it up, it was actually good for your blood pressure, certain spices. Well, certain spices and jalapenos, certain peppers. So I had a lot of jalapenos. I was so obsessed and craving jalapenos through my whole pregnancy. It was weird. That and what are they called? Freezies and popsicles and stuff. I wanted them all the time, along with spicy food. So it was kind of like polar opposites for that. And yeah, and when I found out I was pregnant, I only told very few people. I again kept it from my father. I told my mother, but told her not to tell anybody. I told my boyfriend and told him not to tell anybody, though his parents kind of figured it out because I was thrown up. I wasn't really that sick, but the first trimester for like a couple weeks, I think it was in like the 2nd month or so, I was throwing up a lot, so they kind of clued in to that. But besides that, I didn't want to announce it to anybody or on the internet. Like, we told our close friends and stuff, but I didn't want to get anybody excited and everybody excited until I knew for sure that everything was okay. So I waited until closer to the 20-week ultrasound. And we had, I went to the clinic this time with him instead of going all the way out to Sydney River and meeting an OBGYN there, and the nurses were very supportive in the prenatal clinic. Like, I loved going there, and they never made me feel like I was crazy when I spotted with him as well, and that freaked me out. And so I went to them for every little thing. Like, I called them about when I ended up catching a cold and I was terrified and didn't know what to take. I also had a yeast infection and didn't know if I could take that stuff, and they reassured me and told me what to do and all that, and they brought me in a couple times. There was one time I was there overnight because I couldn't feel him moving as much, and I was really freaked out and worried. That was like way farther on. That was like when I was 30 weeks, I think. And then I was spotting at one point, and there was multiple times that I was checked for my water breaking, because I thought that there was so much clear fluid coming from me, but I thought my mucus plug was gone and stuff, but it kept reforming again and everything. So yeah, I annoyed the hell out of them with my son's pregnancy, because every little thing I was freaked out and wanted to get tested and checked out. And, I drove everybody crazy with everything. And again, I was still working at McDonald's at that point, and I was still in school. It was in my last year. I was in my second semester of third year, and then I had him in my first semester of my last year of nursing. And exactly. But yeah, and there was, again, when I worked at McDonald's at that point, and again there was a couple girls who were pregnant around the same time I was, so I had a lot of people to talk to, and a lot of people asked me questions because they knew I had a miscarriage and what they should look out for and stuff. So it kept me from losing my mind, having people to talk to and relate to and stuff. And I kind of feel bad that with my anxiety, I avoided and was scared to interact with them after I left McDonald's and after I had my son and everything. Like, it was just, I'm so worried about embarrassing myself for not connecting with them and everything, so I just made it worse for myself. But yeah, he's tired. But yeah, and our 20-week ultrasound came around, and it was actually a little earlier than I thought. It was the end of May, and it was another high anxiety fear time when I was worried that they wouldn't see a heartbeat or they wouldn't show me anything. But as soon as she turned the screen around and showed me stuff, I immediately had a wave of relief. I was like, thank God, everything's okay. Though I knew there were still things that could happen later on in the pregnancy and stuff. But I passed a milestone at 20 weeks. I passed that time when there could be something done to save my baby. Whereas before that, there's nothing they can do. It's considered a miscarriage before 20 weeks, I believe. And then after that is stillborn. So that was a big milestone I wanted to get past. And I remember very vividly the way I told my father. I didn't gain much weight with my son, so it wasn't really noticeable until like I was close to giving birth to him, really, that I was gaining any weight and getting a belly and all that.